Ca o corabie fără direcție în voia furtunii, așa se simt în această perioadă brazilienii loviți în plin de pandemia de coronavirus, cei care înțeleg gravitatea situației, fiindcă există și o altă jumătate de țară în frunte cu președintele țării care ignoră pericolul. Am stat puțin mai devreme de vorbă despre situația de acolo cu un brazilian, e vorba de Pedro Antunes, un medic stomatolog din Rio de Janeiro. Iată conversația pe care am avut-o cu acesta.
We are living in a difficult moment of like the world, but I think here the situation is maybe more hotter. We say here that we have like two viruses. One is coronavirus, of course, and the other one is like the president Bolsonaro. We have a big problem with him because since from the beginning, he didn't believe in the virus, always making jokes and think that the virus will not arrive in Brazil. Like, oh, it's just a little flu, or it's a tricky from the media. So it's hard. We have like different directions of what to do now. We see clearly one direction of Bolsonaro that he decided, I think, to not face this problem. So we don't have like a clearly rules or plans from the federal government. In the other side, we have like the local governments, like the state government and the cities going in the other direction. I think that the local governments, when they realized that the federal government was not doing like a real plan to save us or to trying to save us, they realized that, okay, we need to do something in the local, in the cities, for the state. So we have like two directions, very different.
You live in Rio. What's the direction there? What rules do you have to obey?
Yes, since from the beginning in Rio, the governor of Rio decided to support all the rules of OMS and all the rules that the world is doing, all the plans like social distance. So we are at home around 80 days since from March, and we are trying to do the social distance, but it's hard because we have these two movements, you know. So we have the perception that half of the population is doing the social distance, and the other half is not doing. I think,
but still, with all this
the support of Bolsonaro,
with all this dramatic situation that you face there, these social distancing measures are just recommendations. Nobody's going to fine you if you're not respecting them, right? Or nobody's going to fine you if you go outside without a form filled in.
Yes, you can go to the street. We have like some supermarkets open. We have drugstores open. You can go to the street, and the police will just doing some advice for you to come back home, not stay at the street. But it's not a real lockdown. You know, we have some cities from north of Brazil, and they are practicing the lockdown. But here in Rio, no. São Paulo, no lockdown, just social distance. It's not a real quarantine, you know.
What are the reports coming from the hospital?
My brother is a doctor. He said to me since from the beginning that the situation is very bad. You need to stay at home. But what we see in the news, in the journals, that the situation is not very good. Normally in Brazil we don't have like a good health service, and now of course it's getting worse.
Do you still have enough beds in the hospitals? Do you have protective equipment?
Yes, how Brazil is very big, the situation changed in states, okay? So, but in Rio and many of states and cities, it's almost 100% full, the beds. So this is very bad, and and on top of that, we don't have like enough number of doctors to work. We don't have like equipment. The beds are almost full, so it's tragic.
You were talking about Sao Paulo, you were talking about Rio, but of course Brazil has poorer areas as well. And you also have this specificity, you have the favelas. How's the situation there?
Yes, in the favelas, we are very worried about it because last month I saw an article that the spread and the number of dead people in the favelas increased 10 times in 1 month. So it's increasing, and it's very hard to not spread the virus in the favelas because we have a specific situation. The favelas are very big, very big, with very small houses. So in one house we have like 10 persons living in the same room. So how you can practice the social distancing in this situation? You know, it's very easy to spread in the favelas, and we don't have like a specific politics for that. It's very hard to keep these people at home when you have this reality, and we are very worried about it.
With all this political lack of clarity, if you want, and with all this, with all these huge numbers that we see every day, do you envisage a light at the end of the tunnel?
No. In the moment, I feel like Brazil is like a ship, you know, in the middle of the ocean, and we have no direction.
You are a doctor as well. You are a dentist. How has this situation changed it all for you?
Yes, I'm a dentist. One of the most dangerous in the professions in the moment. So I stopped to work in March. So I'm 80 days almost at home, not working. And I think so this is the situation. I'm here. I don't know when I will come back to work. So I need to be here. I can't work with the idea that I can spread the virus. You know, I work with health. It's not possible.
So you don't want, on a personal level, you don't want to take this risk of maybe getting somebody else sick?
Of course, I want to be very careful because I work with health. I don't want to be responsible of spread the virus and get people sick. You know, it's the responsibility. It's my responsibility, and I think that people need to understand this. Even if it's allowed to work, I will be very careful.
Mergem mai departe, bogați.